Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final character spotlight video for Dragon Ball Z. I did one for Goku, did one for Vegeta, and I'm going to finish it off with a character spotlight for Dragon Ball Z's and kind of Dragon Ball's Piccolo. Okay, so yes, this is going to be my final character spotlight type of video for Dragon Ball Z. I wanted to go through and do most characters in the series, maybe Gohan, do one for the villains, maybe Cell, Frieza. And these are basically videos where I focus on one character from a series, or, from everything they've been in, basically, and give my thoughts on that character, talk a little bit about that character, give some of my favorite things from them that we've seen, and just kind of focus on them, give an overall idea of what I think about a particular character in fiction. So, like I said, I've done a couple for Dragon Ball Z. I've done the necessary ones, Goku, Vegeta. There are lots of others I could do. Definitely I could do Gohan, Broly, Frieza, Cell, on and on. There's lots. But unfortunately for these, it just doesn't seem like there's enough people that are interested in them for me to continue. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll do this one for Piccolo, and then that's basically it for now. I'm going to put these types of videos on hiatus because there just isn't enough demand. They're pretty general. They seem to work for Walking Dead characters because of the Walking Dead subscriber base I have from the TV series. So for those they work, but for other shows like this, which is kind of like an older series, which is Dragon Ball Z, even though it's being shown as Kai in Japan right now, that's not really getting a whole lot of press right now in the U.S. It might when it gets ported over and subbed and all that, or dubbed, I mean. But for now, I'm going to stop doing the character spotlight videos. So sorry, guys, if you did like them. I apologize, but this will be the final one. So thought I'd finish it up with Piccolo. Not a bad three to go with: Piccolo, Vegeta, Goku. This was the one that was most suggested after Vegeta and Goku as the next character. Gohan would probably be after that if I had to play somebody. And then after that, maybe Cell, Frieza, I don't know. And then past that, lots of other characters as well, too. So in terms of what I think about Piccolo, Piccolo is a character that I think my favorite time watching him, there's a couple times. See, he's a character that kind of comes in and comes out of Dragon Ball Z. He is, of course, King Piccolo, I guess you want to call him father. He's listed as father, I guess, to who we know of as Piccolo, which is like supposedly his son or whatever. You know how he spews out that egg thing, I guess, or whatever you want to make of that, however you want to view that, is your choice. And basically, Piccolo that we think of, it comes into play near the end of Dragon Ball, and then becomes a big presence also in Dragon Ball Z, with, in the beginning, him being a very prominent character. Of course, as Raditz arrives, Goku is essentially on the same level as Piccolo, I would say. Maybe, they're close in terms of power. Goku would probably win if it was a 1 versus 1, but Piccolo is very close in power level and is very helpful to him against Raditz, who would probably stomp Goku one-on-one without much of a hassle. So he is a big character there. Then, of course, after that finishes off the rest of the Saiyan saga, he's a big influence. He helps train Gohan, which I love some of those scenes. I remember one from Dragon Ball Z in particular. I'm not sure why, where I think he throws Gohan into a mountain or something. Like, he just throws him into a mountain. Like, he's just this monster trainer that's just going to beat the crap out of him if he doesn't do what he asks and doesn't give 100%. This type of thing with crying and all that. So he develops a relationship with Gohan, even to the point where in battle he gives his life for him, or basically takes a huge energy blast from Nappa in order to protect him. And of course, with Namek, his people, I guess you would say, he fuses with Nail, and he's involved in the battles there. I won't say heavily, somewhat. Then, of course, in the Cell Saga, he is prominent. Well, maybe, beginning of Cell Saga, late Android Saga, I guess, when he fuses with Kami and becomes a super Namekian or whatever. Unless you want to consider that kind of already being one with the fusion with Nail. So he's fused a couple times, and essentially the write-up goes, when he fuses with Kami, he is basically 100% good now. He doesn't have any kind of inner demons like he did earlier on, where at the beginning he's evil and then he becomes good, and kind of teeters back and forth on, okay, he'll team up with Goku to face Raditz, but is he really cool with Goku? What's the situation? By that time, he's completely evolved from that stage to 100%, I would say, a good guy, and he never really goes back after that. So he essentially goes out and fights against Android 17 and Cell as well in some amazing battles, I gotta admit, when there's really some of the superpowered Super Saiyans aren't there, so he is able to kind of buy them time and do what needs to be done in the meantime, and almost succeeds. He's on par with 17. He's able to, I guess, give him a good enough challenge. He's able to use his advanced experience and everything to really give 17 a good run for his money, and then Cell intervenes near the end of the battle there, of course. So after that, I want to say for the most part, he doesn't really do much more after that for about the rest of the series. Aside from being involved with training, he doesn't really fight anybody in the series, like with Boo and all that. He kind of takes a back seat to all the Super Saiyans, to be honest with you. And then if you want to count GT as canon, depending on how you view GT, I don't think he does. I think all he does is die in GT. GT's an atrocity, but as far as I remember, he just dies. He doesn't really do anything else, does he? So it is a shame with Dragon Ball Z. One of the things that happens or occurs throughout the series is that at the beginning you have a lot of variety in terms of the characters, fighting style, and different things that different characters can do. Tien is really unique in what he does. Krillin's got some unique style. Even though he does use the Kamehameha, he'll have the Destructo Disc and different techniques he uses. Piccolo's got some really unique techniques, of course. None of his moves are very similar to Goku. He's got the Special Beam Cannon, of course. He's got, Hellfire Grenade or Hellblaze Grenade, something like that. And of course, regrowing his limbs, so if he gets an arm blown off or something, he can regrow it. If he gets hurt, he's got really good regeneration to be able to regenerate parts of his body. And of course, he's got the telepathy, he's got the sensory powers. He's got all kinds of unique things to him and his fighting style that nobody else has, which is really cool to see. There's really no one else out there like him, and it's unfortunate that as the series progresses from the beginning, he gets pushed further and further into the background past that battle with Android 17. After that, at least that was brought back. I'd be really upset if we didn't have that. But past that, yeah, he's just pushed into the background 100%, basically. Which sucks because he's so unique and he's so cool. All the Z fighters, like all the Super Saiyan Z fighters, they all have their own techniques for the most part. But I just really like the uniqueness of Piccolo. The difference in the way he looks, the difference in his techniques and his fighting style, his strategic mind, his seriousness, the way he just kind of lives for the battle is really cool, really cool. So he's definitely one of those top characters in Dragon Ball Z. I think when they were doing the action figures for them, the Figuarts figures, which has been a great action figure line, I believe he was one of the first ones they did. They did like Goku, they did Piccolo almost right away because he is one of the lead characters in Dragon Ball Z. When you think of Dragon Ball Z, we're talking Goku, we're talking Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, and the other Z fighters. But definitely Piccolo is one of the most prominent members of them in that he's so unique and so cool. Aside from that, some of my favorite stuff from him, the battle with 17 is awesome. Training Gohan's really cool. The battle with Raditz is good. And, aside from that, I can't really recall too much else. The end of Dragon Ball is pretty exciting with him being on the opposite side. Maybe similar in a little bit to Vegeta's evolution, where he starts off as a straight bad guy, or he's supposed to be, and then over time, I guess through Goku's charisma or just set of circumstances, him and Vegeta kind of decide that, hey, Kakarot, he's a good guy, and they eventually are changed over time as well to be more like him. So, a very cool character is Piccolo. Probably my favorite ever favorite thing with him ever is probably the Special Beam Cannon on Raditz. That's pretty awesome. That's something I remember from the entire series, just that's really exciting. When the first time you watch that is really, really exciting. So he's a great character. He's definitely one of those top 5 Dragon Ball Z characters. I would put him probably at number 3 with Goku and Vegeta right up there at the top of the list. Next would probably be Gohan in terms of like standout characters from the series. The only thing with Gohan is past the Cell Saga. I feel like the Great Saiyaman stuff and the stuff that happens in Buu is kind of a letdown for what you would have expected him to become. He didn't become as great as he probably should have when you see him Super Saiyan level 2 Ascended Saiyan. In the, I guess that's not technically Ascended Saiyan. There's all kinds of technicalities for Super Saiyan levels. Let's say Super Saiyan level 2. Okay, I don't want to start an argument. Super Saiyan level 2, Gohan, and basically past that, he doesn't really, in terms of studying and stuff, yeah, but personally, I'm not a big fan of Gohan that much past that point, whereas Piccolo is really solid, really cool all the way throughout, aside from him just kind of becoming pushed in the background due to not having enough power, which is unfortunate, but he's definitely a really cool character and very unique to watch. So let me know what you guys think about Piccolo. If I do start these up again, who would you like to see next? Is Gohan a lock? Is that a solid, he's got to be next? Or is there another character you'd rather see? Would you rather see Cell or Frieza? Or spotlight on maybe a movie character like Broly or somebody else? Let me know what you guys think. But those are pretty much all my thoughts on Piccolo. An awesome character, very unique, very cool, very fearsome, very scary if you're on the wrong side, if you're on the opposite side. Very cool character. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trav, as always. Saying peace.